meeting to order at 10:05, and we won't be here till 10:30 because I drank a lot of coffee this morning. We're going to, at this point, I'll open the floor for the motion vote, which we will be dealing with today.
So the big part of what we're doing is, on the technical part, we're moving Marj from 10 hours a week to 15 hours a week, but we're also calling Marj. And the difference between a hiring and a calling is that in a calling, you feel that it's more of a hiring is a me decision or an us decision, whereas a calling is a we decision and God decision. And so that's how you're verifying that this person, you believe God has sent them to you. And many of you, you don't always get this kind of trial with a call candidate, but many of you have told me how much Marj has meant to you, gone and visited with you, and so it's been a pretty great blessing to have this walk into a call vote. Does anybody have any questions or discussion or anything they might want to know more about this?
As a member of our congregation, I want to see something in favor of this. Not only do we need this position, but we need that person that's, because pastor can't do it all. We need that person that's able to go out and maintain some sort of relationship with the people who are outside who are hurting, whether it be at home, hospital, at a time of the death. On top of that, we're blessed to have the right person to fill this position on hand now. If any of you who have sat down, and I've sat down and talked with Marj, she has those gifts. Whether it's an elderly gentleman, a younger child, an elderly woman, she can relate to any of them. I think we're very, very blessed to have this opportunity. And as a member of your church with you, I want to really say I am very, very in favor of calling Marj Olson. Thank you.
We have to make an nominated or?
We have a motion, and then we need technically we needed a second. Okay. Wade is recording this as our secretary. And then someone can call for the vote if we're done with discussion. If anybody has anything else they'd like to add for discussion.
Call for the vote.
Chris?
Richard and I have been the recipients of Marj's visits, and I can't say enough about Marj. She leaves us with a sense of hope, calm. She has a sense of humor. She reaches out not only to the people that she's visiting, but anybody that she sees that needs help. So she's just a wonderful asset to our church.
Good morning. Just a little note in light of the recent church-wide assembly, and probably many of you know this, as Pastor Adrian said, as Lutherans and Quakers, we believe in the priesthood of all believers and that all persons are gifted by God for the needs that God has for community. But we're also a Lutheran church that operates by constitutions as a way to protect the faith community. And we have, as of this last church-wide assembly held early in August in New Orleans, now 2 rosters. The one is called Word and Sacrament roster, and that's the roster that Pastor Adrian and myself would be on as an ordained pastor. But we have a second roster that's called Word and Service, and that's for all the folks that are formally associates in ministry, deacons, deaconesses, and even the diaconal ministry, which is another branch. So in order to be rostered, congregations need to feel, as Adrian said, not that you're just hiring somebody, but that this is part of a work of God, a work of the Spirit, and God's call. So I'm excited to be here for Marj's sake and for your congregation's sake, that Marj has good gifts in this area. Know her from her work at Peninsula and visits. So I think you're getting a good candidate for this work, as some of you said. But again, just a reminder, I really like what Pastor Adrian reaffirmed in his sermon, that all of us are gifted, but there are some gifts that are called out and set aside. And for the sake of good order, like Swedes and Norwegians and Germans and the like, those folks are rostered and then called by the congregation in the Spirit. So, good. And I'm here to make sure your yes is yes, and your no's are no.
All right, so we're doing it by a hand vote. Would you like to use that coffee?
You're all laughing at me. With the motion in front of us, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Signify by saying yes. Who's counting?
No.
I'll count the notes. I'll count the notes.